sure people have been ghosted in relationships too. That's a whole other episode that we'll do. But this one has to talk about ghosting. I'm going to read it for you. We'll dig right into it and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Excellent. This one says, "Hey Brock, how do I avoid being ghosted? I've been trying to date again recently and have joined a couple of dating apps, but after a while the conversations just end up dying, and then I never hear from them again. Some are before we ever get off the app, and others are after we've been texting a few days. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or saying that's ruining the conversation and killing the interest, but it's getting old, and if it is something I'm doing, I'd like to avoid it if possible. Any suggestions? How do I hold someone's interest long enough to set up a date?" And this was signed off by Jeremy, and he shared with us that he's 32 years old.
Nice, Jeremy. Yeah, great question. That's a question a lot of people actually come to me about. So you're not the only person that's getting ghosted and wanting to know how they can go about fixing that. So let's get into this. Yes, Jeremy, it is something that you're doing, but that's okay because that means you're able to fix it. If it was something out of your control, we'd have an issue, but you can definitely fix this. And this is something that a lot of people are experiencing. Like they connect with somebody on a dating app or social media, however it is, and you text, and eventually the fun, the mystery dies out, and you're like, dang, why didn't we ever get to the date? Like blah, 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 blah. And the reason why is because you're texting too much. You're not pushing like the direction of your intentions really anywhere. You're texting, you're talking, you're sending messages, and what you're supposed to be doing is, especially on a dating app, is make a connection, make a quick positive impression, and try to move that as quickly as you possibly can to a face-to-face interaction. Go get a cocktail, go get a dinner, go get coffee, doesn't matter. You are not supposed to live on the app. That's not really what those platforms are for. They are connection tools, and I see so many people using the tools incorrectly. It's a phenomenal tool for connecting, but you have to get off of the app as fast as possible once you feel that you've made a positive connection with somebody. And that's usually when the interest is at the highest, is usually within like the first couple of hours of a connection. They've looked at your, likely they've already stalked your social media. They're already looking at your pictures, your bio, all that type of stuff. Have a couple quick back and forth, make sure the energy is right, and then try again to move it as fast as you can to a face-to-face interaction. The longer you're trying to text, which is called text dating, it's one of the surefire ways to make sure that you get ghosted, that the relationships don't go anywhere, that they lose interest, and you just get left frustrated wondering what it is that you're doing. So, Jeremy, that is what you're doing. You're texting too much, and you really need to get off the platforms as fast as possible once you've made a positive impression.
But is there a certain allotment of time that should go by? Is texting okay, good for more than a few hours? Some people might not want to rush to that right away.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, like the timing of it. So again, texting and all that is supposed to really be about getting together. Like that's what you should be texting about. You shouldn't be asking questions like, oh, where are you from? Like what types of things are you into? Those are first date type questions. Like guys, we got to stop being lazy trying to get all these first date information from these ladies and actually go on to that first date. But really, I would say once you connect with somebody and you talk with them a little bit on a dating app, and this is how I always did it, I don't want to wait more than 36 hours. If you're not asking them to get face-to-face within 36 hours, like it's not likely going to happen. I mean, unless they're like super, super busy, but you should be moving that meter very quickly from the connection, the impression, to the face-to-face interaction. It should be fairly quick. It really should.
Very good. Thank you so much, Brock. You can go to Brock's website, brockolson.com, for more information. Brock actually has a speed dating event that's coming up at the end of the month that you can get info on there as well. Follow Brock on social media. And of course, thank you to Jeremy for writing in. If you out there listening have a question that you would like Brock to tackle, send me an email and we'll get it on the air here. That's Gino, Gino, at WDODradio.com. Brock, once again, thank you so much for the advice. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Gino. Thank you.